Oh, you didn't know?
Oh boy, it's that weekend.
Yeah, it's that weekend.
Yes, it is.
Trying to make some noise up in this bitch.
We got 2 words for you.
If you ain't down with that, we got 2 words for you. Suck it! Oh, it's awesome.
I was coming with something else.
So how's it going?
Good, good, good.
What's going?
Another round of brews and views?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. 34? 34, something like that?
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton. Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Jesus Shuttleworth.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bo Jackson.
yeah. Did Paul Pierce wear 34?
Come on, no, he doesn't belong in this. No, no, stop right there.
Okay.
Just cut
Poor
that.
Paul Pierce. He got the axe from ESPN for wilding out on his Instagram. He looked like he was just living a good life.
Yeah, he was having a good
I
time.
guess Disney who owns ESPN didn't look too kind on that.
No, you work for Disney.
You know,
Yeah.
hey, you do you, Paul.
Yeah, do you?
But you
Don't
work.
video it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You work for the House of Mouse.
Yeah. Well, I am drinking. I saw this, and it's Harlem Brewing Company, which is in Harlem. You know,
Makes sense.
It's a Sugar Hill Golden Ale.
I want you. Oh,
Cut it out.
my bad.
But it's golden ale. Especially when it gets hot, I tend to stop drinking the porters and the stouts. You know, go for which my second favorite. I would say porter and stouts, then goldens are my second favorite, then IPAs.
Gotcha.
But this is a Sugar Hill. You know, I didn't know they had a brewing company in Harlem. I thought all they had was Frank Lucas and Puff Daddy doing the Harlem Shake and the Apollo. But apparently they got craft brew too.
Hey,
Maybe that's why Puffy does a Harlem.
so how the Harlem Shake go again?
I gotta stand up and do it, but
It's like spasms.
yeah. That's basically what it looks like. It looks like a spasm dance. Shout out to P Diddy with the spasm dance.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, I'm drinking, and it's from Old Bushead Brewing Company, which I love the name.
I mean, who doesn't love bus?
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch that, but they're
Cliff likes that.
yeah, they're, they're in Virginia, so Virginia Brewery, and I'm drinking a Vixen Irish Red Ale.
It is red.
Yes, it is. It is 5.4%,
Hmm.
and it's alright. It's not. I've had better red ales, but
I haven't had too many red ales. Like the only actual one I remember is Killian's. Used to drink that years ago.
right.
But other than that, I don't think I've
And one
touched on
Smithy.
Smitty.
Smithy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I had a couple. Um, saw it in the store. I was like, let me check this out. And I mean, I've had a couple. It's not the best one, but it ain't the worst one either. So, ain't bad. What you drinking, Cliff?
You know what he got.
Yeah.
What we really need to do is again.
That's the bottom line.
Hopefully they won't run out again.
Between him and Stone Cold, man, they are
I
killing
have I have the sternly worded email all day.
it. So I came across this while it was sent to me, and it's the top selling beers in America. Not sure if this was last year or a year before last, but of course, number one at $5.2 billion in sales is Bud Light.
can believe that.
Yeah, dirty tap water.
My
So-
one-time favorite.
Yeah, I like Bud Light.
I don't like it no more.
No.
After I've tasted other things. But I can imagine that, you know, they sell a lot of barrels. You know, every time you go into a bar or a restaurant, you can at least find Bud Light on tap.
I always do that.
Yeah,
And there's one more that I drink all the time that I'm pretty sure is on there.
that's number 2.
Yeah.
Coors Light at $2.2 billion. Third is Michelob Ultra.
Another one of my former favorites.
Yeah. I still drink Coors Light.
Don't drink it till the mountains are blue.
Exactly.
Yeah, 3 is Michelob Ultra, 4 Miller Lite, 5 Modelo, 6, which I don't know why it's this high. It's disgusting to me. It's Budweiser, just regular Budweiser. I do not.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. And
It's gotta be light if you're drinking Bud.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
And then
Do you drink regular Budweiser, Cool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
But I don't drink light beer anymore either.
I'm not an old white guy. And Corona and Natty Light rounds out the rest of the.
People still drink that?
Oh yeah. People kill Natty Light. I know a few people that still drink that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to kill Natty Light,
Nah, that's stuff. Now that's nasty.
and it runs through you.
Now that's nasty. Natty Light.
It's easy on your wallet.
It
Yeah, it is.
is.
It is.
And so, I think it was last year. So, the overall beer market is $94 billion
Mm-hmm.
in a year. Craft brew only makes up 22.2 billion of it, but it's growing. It is getting there.
I know here in Virginia, craft beer is huge.
Which I didn't mark the page, but I thought, you know, it seems like it's huge, especially in Richmond.
Yeah.
We're not even in the top 15 of craft, you know, the cities with the most craft brews. It's a small city too, but you look around. There's one everywhere, but
yeah.
we're not. Number one was like what was it Maine, Portland, Maine.
I can see that.
Yeah, so
I think I've had a couple of craft brews
Yeah,
before.
I have too, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so they drink a lot and they hunt a lot up in Maine.
Don't
I'm
imagine
guessing.
there's too much else to do.
No, vote for Bernie Sanders.
I thought he was in Vermont.
No, I think it's Maine. One or two. I don't know.
Same,
I think it's
same
Vermont.
region. Same region.
Same region.
New England.
Oh
Who
shit.
is from Maine? I had to look that up.
No, nobody. Nobody.
Oh, the lady. I can't think of her name. The Republican lady. Susan Collins. She's from.
Oh, she's from Maine.
Yes.
I said, okay. So, Tiger Woods. The cause of the crash finally came out. He was traveling about 85 miles an hour.
On that winding road.
85 on the 45. He hit the tree at 75 miles an hour. So what it did show me is that Hyundai Genesis is one safe motherfucking automobile.
Yes, it is.
So if you're looking for safety, buy that. Tiger tested the fuck out of that car.
He did.
Yeah,
He did.
all he got was some broken legs. So I mean, if you're looking for safety,
Yeah.
Hyundai Genesis SUV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to be safe, probably
Don't.
shouldn't do 85 on that winding road in a 45.
No.
Probably should avoid that.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. It's 45 for a reason.
Yeah, they don't arbitrarily put speeds
No.
up. They don't just,
You think they do? Like, why the fuck is this slow?
Yes, they do.
No, they, it's safety reasons. But
yeah.
Safety reasons.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Who said?
Well, people live along these roads too. Driveways going in and out of these. You know, it's safety.
Yeah.
And for reasons like that,
Yeah.
hitting trees and shit. This ain't the Autobahn. It was
No.
like a 2-lane highway.
Which, if I was on the Autobahn, I'd be all the way in the right lane, doing 75.
You don't want to test it out once in like a Lambo or
I
a
do.
something.
I do.
Yeah, if I'm in a Lambo.
Not
But
a
if I'm,
Hyundai Genesis.
but if, yeah, and if I if I'm in my car,
Oh,
how's that?
no,
It's
no.
75
Yeah.
in the right hand lane. I mean, but yeah, if I had a Lambo or something, yeah, let's see what I could get on it.
I do want to see it once, but I'm not going over there. Fuck Europe.
Really? Why would we say fuck Europe?
That's what I would say.
Why?
Because I don't want to go there. Well, I don't need to go
No,
there.
enough said. Okay. I'd go.
Yeah, I go.
There's one place I would go in Europe.
I already know what it is.
Where is
Amsterdam.
it?
Yeah.
Yes, and that is it.
The current state of this country, a lot of Europeans probably don't want to come here either.
Who the fuck would want to come here? I'm stuck here. That's the only reason I'm here.
We didn't come here because we wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't have a choice. Our ancestors ain't have a choice in the matter.
So, yeah.
Oh no, one more. Rest in peace.
Oh, rest
Yeah.
in peace,
DMX.
DMX.
Yeah. Yeah. If you are age, I mean DMX.
He was so gutter with his raps, and then at the same time he was spiritual, and
Yeah.
and it's just,
Yeah.
and I mean, he had a flow. It was nobody like him.
No.
He had his own style. Of course, everybody had their own style back then.
Yeah.
You young niggas need to take a look, but yeah,
Can't
DMX.
stop mumbling long enough.
Yeah.
No.
But I first heard him on an underground tape with Mace and Murder Mace, who wasn't really a murderer,
No.
and the Locks, and
Yeah.
yeah, DMX was that dude.
Yeah. The first one I heard him on was on the jump with LL Cool J and Cannabis.
Oh,
That's where I first heard of it was with DMX, Cannabis, and Nori
Yeah.
on those underground tapes.
That's where I heard him. It was LL Cool J, and it was a pretty big song at the time. And DMX was like the person that rapped right before LL Cool J, and at the time LL was the star. He was big, and you know, and DMX on that record, everybody, I was like, who is this dude? Because he out rapped everybody on the job.
while barking.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
man, yeah, it's rough. But he had
50
demons.
years old. Yeah, he did.
demons.
Yes, he did. And then I'm shit. I mean,
We all got 'em.
Yeah, I'm about to say, he ain't alone in that regard.
Nah.
You know.
they just caught up with him.
Yeah,
So rest in peace, DMX, 50 years old,
yeah,
to be missed.
yep.
Oh, I meant you showed me this a couple weeks ago. I meant to bring it up then, but Baltimore decided not to
Yeah.
get it together, Cliff.
Oh, I can't.
Uh-oh.
The clip came off.
So can we fix this real quick?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, that shit.
We can.
So Baltimore decided to not prosecute small crimes, including prostitution and weed possession.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So you're going to Baltimore?
I thought we'd go check the Orioles game.
You go ahead. I'll walk the streets.
I was gonna walk the streets afterwards, but whatever. That's where we're going. So road trip to Baltimore,
Wow.
and you can stay home.
Oh, he's a designated driver.
He is a designated driver. Yeah. All right. So first up,
Bastard.
I am very racist.
Yeah.
So before we were rudely interrupted, about to get into this topic, and apparently Megan Rapinoe and Draymond Green had some words. Megan Rapinoe is on her push for equal pay, or what she says is equal pay in her sport of women's college. I mean not college, but women's soccer.
I was about to say.
And Draymond, who really wasn't saying, he wasn't against her. He just was saying she's going about the wrong way about it, or
We're on the wrong way.
they're going the wrong way about it. But there's a back and forth, which is on, he had a video, then it's on Twitter, which I hate arguments on Twitter because
Yeah.
it accomplishes nothing. And so, she's talking shit about him and blah, blah, blah. But that's not what I want to talk about. I just want to talk about the equal pay issue in general, which we'll dive into a couple of sports. But as far as soccer, one thing that is I don't like about the argument where she's coming, because I agree with she's getting paid, you know, but the main thing is they signed the collective bargaining agreement of how they're getting paid right now.
Right.
And it's different from how the men get paid. The men get paid in bonuses, just straight bonuses, and the women get paid in a salary for being on the team. And somehow it doesn't come out much more, but it comes out more for the men. I guess I don't know how it works, but they signed the contract, and Hope Solo came out and said she was the goalie for the team, and she said that they should have never signed it. They signed it too quick. They didn't wait it out,
Yeah.
And so I feel them on that. I mean, you're getting paid what you collectively bargained to pay. I mean, to
Yeah.
get paid. So
Contractually, that's what you're getting paid.
now they are in the past few years they have been, getting more attention, more viewers, generating more money.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
But yeah, I mean, I think the next collective bargaining agreement is next year or sometime this year or next year. So maybe you can work that out then.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I agree they should be getting paid more, but like you said, they signed the contract. But they, I don't know, because they do generate a hell of a lot of money for USA Soccer.
They do.
So, yeah, they should be getting paid more.
I just don't like that argument of we're paid less because we're women. It's a
Well, I'm not saying that that's in this particular case, because
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I ain't studied all the way through in this case.
Yeah.
Now, but that shit does happen.
Oh, it does. It does happen a lot. Now it doesn't happen as I don't think it happens as much as like I'm not because nobody ever comes forth with the evidence of saying if I'm a man and a woman got the same education, the same work history or whatever, they get this job, same job that the man is getting paid more than the woman. Nobody ever comes out with that statistic to show that that's happening. What they do is they take the average salary or at the end of the year and they say yes, men are getting paid more, but they don't take in the fact that you know men work more hours, women do take off time from work, from maybe being a mother or things like that. Men generally, it's a stat that men generally work more overtime than a woman. So you know what I'm saying? So they're taking the end result and basing their argument over that.
It's it's akin to the argument though of, well, black people get treated differently. There's no real concrete evidence,
Yeah.
but we all know it exists.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
There's no concrete evidence. We all know it exists. And we know it exists. Now, is every case that? Probably not.
I don't think it's more than not.
What?
I mean, but does it exist? I mean, this could be my ignorance, but I mean, and I'm talking in professions other than, how do I word this? Other than ones that rely on physical ability.
So an accountant or whatever.
As an example, yeah.
An accountant. There's a woman who gets a job as an accountant make less than the man
Well, that's kind
at
of
the
where
entry
I'm
level.
going.
Mhm.
It happens. Is it all the time? I think it more so depends on the boss. It's
Yeah.
almost like,
It could be just a sexist boss.
yeah.
It's
Now that is prevalent
Well, of
because
course.
there's
Sexist boss,
they
racist
say
bosses,
that, yeah,
shit.
they say that the upper management level is generally an old boys club. They take
Mhm.
care of each other.
But is if they a lot of times it makes it sound like there's a playbook for when people hire somebody like this is what a man gets paid, this is what a woman gets paid.
Yeah,
I
I don't think that exists.
no, but that's what it seems like that. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
It's a blanket argument. I hate blanket arguments on everything.
I got you.
You know,
I mean, I get you.
I just, of course they should, but now,
Yeah, they. Now I agree they should get paid. They should get paid a lot. Going back to the soccer thing, they should get paid a lot more because apparently they generate a ridiculous amount of money in Europe and South America.
they do.
I did hear that. Like,
Does that money come back to the U.S. Soccer
comes back to
Federation?
U.S. soccer.
Well, it sounds like they need to go back to the table and renegotiate.
I mean,
Maybe.
that's what
Yeah.
it is. I mean,
Yeah.
it goes back to that collective bargaining agreement, and
Mm.
that's the same thing with shoot, NFL and
Yeah.
everything.
And it could be that's their way because once you're signed, you really don't have leverage. So maybe she's putting pressure by going public. And that could be. I'm not saying that is. I'm just
Or maybe she's just starting the process, because the negotiation starts before
right.
the
Yeah.
collective bargaining comes
Yeah.
up. So, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And because I think the thing that they were saying the other day was that globally, the U.S. women make like $5 to what the U.S. men's bring into U.S. to United States soccer.
Because I mean, if the men were better,
Yeah.
if the men were good, and not even champions, if they were just good, they would be killing and they would
Yeah.
be making more money than the women.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
could-
it's not
yeah.
even an argument. They
Yep.
just would, but they suck.
Yeah.
Some trash. U.S. men's soccer is some trash.
Because it's one of the girls, I can't think of who it is, but her jersey is like one of the top selling jerseys in the world.
It's probably Alex Morgan.
Maybe
Either her or Rapido.
Yeah,
one of them.
Alex Morgan's hot.
Just when we started to talk about equal pay, you had to bring her looks in.
Well, Julie Ertz is hot too. I'm equaling it out. I'm gonna give her all the love. Yeah.
He's not being disrespectful. I mean,
I was just making an observation.
yeah, it had nothing to do with the discussion, but just an observation, like you said. He's not wrong.
Oh man, y'all wild, y'all wild.
And what about? So I saw this as Brandon Marshall. I don't know if it's a podcast or
Yeah,
it's a little sit around discussion they were
I
having.
think it was someone's podcast that he was on.
And it was one guy on there, and they brought the WNBA into it, which
I don't know, man.
He caught a lot of heat for that shit.
but what
Rightfully so.
that argument is not the same as
That argument ain't the same as anything.
the
No.
soccer argument because they lose money every year.
Yeah, and they don't, as we were saying, they generate nothing.
They lose money.
Yeah, compared to what the NBA generates.
Their salaries are actually subsidized by the NBA.
Right.
So for anybody, and I know I talk a lot of shit about the WNBA, but they are women athletes out there getting doing their thing. But as far as equal pay, it's I want to smack everybody who says their pay should be the same
Yeah, no,
as the men.
ain't no way. You can't pay.
You have to
Can't
generate
pay.
money.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you can't pay Sue Bird the same thing you pay LeBron James.
Unless she can convince America to spend their hard-earned dollars to watch her play the same way they'll spend it to watch LeBron.
Yeah,
No.
because
Yeah.
unless she gets cast in Space Jam 2,
Well, who would watch it?
that's my point.
But in fairness, I'm not watching LeBron, so
You're not gonna watch it?
no.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I can't say that I'll probably like it, but I'll check it out.
Maybe if they do a Space Jam 3 with Tom Brady.
You're on the football field.
Yeah.
I'm watching it for the Looney Tunes, not LeBron. I'm a big Looney Tunes guy.
Yeah, but who's getting the credit for it?
Bugs Bunny.
Cancel culture. I take care of that.
Yeah, wow.
But I don't know. Maybe it'll eventually. I mean, it'll work itself out sooner or later. One day.
Yeah.
I mean, the swing is happening. But you can't do nothing about a sexist boss, or you know what I'm saying. You can't do nothing about that. But I don't think it's prevalent.
Could.
Well, You know what I'm saying. I don't think it's as prevalent as they make it out to be. But I have no evidence.
Yeah.
Nobody, no, they
Nobody have any.
they don't give us evidence,
Mm-mm.
and I don't have any evidence to counter their shit. I just, it's just my opinion.
The main thing, though, I think the point, or at least what I take from it, is if you have one, it's like racist.
Mhm.
You have one racist boss, that's too many.
This is true.
Nobody should deal with that shit.
This is true.
I mean, it's it's bad enough if you have an asshole as a boss.
Well, let's play devil's advocate. Look at the other side of it. If you got one person on there that's asking for something they don't deserve, that's gonna kill their argument.
Well, that's true too. But
Well, I shouldn't say kill it, but it's gonna hurt.
yeah, that's true. I just
That happens a lot too.
It does. I mean, we gotta be fair here.
I mean, there's. I see it every time, every day.
you ever look at a coworker and just wonder how the hell they still work here? Like they do some dumbass.
Every day.
They do some dumbass shit, and you just wondering, like how do they still have a job?
They got some dirt on the boss. They're sleeping with the boss's wife. They're
Something.
Or
something going on.
as my company is big on retention. They like that retention stat.
I remember that word. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
if your retention is too low, they don't like that shit. Even though the people that are leaving and the people you're getting rid of are pieces of shit workers. They just hate to see people
Just hate to see people leave.
Yeah, but how about you just keep shuffling them out until you find the right group?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why? So first of all, that's why I don't ever want to be a manager for a big company. I know it's off target, but them motherfuckers are expendable.
Yeah.
Managers, they get rid of them quick,
Yeah.
and it's all because their numbers ain't right. But they can't do nothing about these shitty motherfucking workers that they're trying to manage. I mean, I've seen some shitty motherfuckers, boy. Terrible. It's,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to motivate these guys, man. Some of them just want more money for not doing anything,
Right.
which is not what the women's national team is doing. They are working their ass off and
Yeah.
busting, even though the competition's terrible, but they are busting their ass. They
They
play,
dominate.
they dominating who's on their schedule.
Right.
That's what I was about
Right.
to say. They can't beat nobody, but who's on their schedule?
So hopefully in this next collective bargaining agreement, they got a better representation, or I don't know
Yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah.
But
They need to get whoever worked out Major League Baseball contract.
who's the Spanish dude? He just got 14 years. Was it?
Well, yeah. Is it Lindor or?
Yeah, I thought Bryce Harper's was like 10 years for 300 something. Now we're doing 14. What the fuck?
Look, man.
No
If I could-
salary cap.
If I could pitch a baseball, that's where I'd be. If I could pitch a baseball,
If I know now what I know now.
Yeah. But no, be a pitcher.
yeah,
You play 25% of the season.
you get paid money.
Yeah.
You only got to play every fifth game.
Was it?
Or if you like a setup guy or
Closer.
a closer, you just and in the game.
Yeah.
I want to be the setup. I want to be the guy that gets it from the starter to the closer. One inning. One inning. And maybe not even a whole inning. Sometimes you just need to face one batter.
Yeah.
To
They
move,
go out there
and then
give
bring in
us-
another pitcher for the
That's
next
it.
batter.
Yeah.
That's a sweet gig.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Throw a couple of strikes, then you spit out some sunflower seeds.
Yep.
Well, they play every day though, don't
They do.
Forget about the curveball, Ricky.
It don't matter. I mean, half the time you just sitting out there smoking cigarettes.
Give them the heater.
Yep.
they?
It'd have been a sweet gig. And then right about now, eventually you end up in Baltimore where prostitution's legal. And on that note,
Speaking of which, do they factor that in with equal pay?
I don't know.
Is that a selling point? Before we get out of here for this segment, is that a selling point for the Orioles?
It-
You signing people up?
I
The
mean,
Orioles, the Ravens.
if you want to, like,
well, where else?
in my contract negotiation for the Orioles, I will take a few less because I'm gonna get, you know,
Get that and a couple of crab cakes, and
Yeah.
you got me. I'm sorry.
and crab cakes and hopefully not the crabs.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's a little.
No. Yeah, but yeah.
We'll have a contract with a few pimps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So yeah, we'll be back in a second. Another segment.
It's just an old sweet song.
God damn. Go stand outside.
Georgia.
Say, Sean, we gotta carry this segment, man.
It's just an old sweet song. All right, come on.
All right. So we are back. We're gonna talk about Georgia in a second. That's why we were doing that. But I did switch beers.
Me too.
Me too.
So this is Strange Ways, which is a local Richmond and Fredericksburg brewery.
Nice.
I'm not sure where the original store was at, but I do frequent Strange Ways a lot. Good select, I do. It's right around the corner from the job, so you know, after work thing, that type of thing.
Gotcha.
Strange ways, huh?
Strange Ways.
No judgment.
I don't find any strange in there.
I was getting ready to say I got an
No.
off-air question for you.
No.
About strange ways.
No. No, there was one in there that I liked, but it didn't work out.
Oh boy.
But they do have good beer.
Good.
And this is which I've had this there before on tap. This is the albino monkey.
That sounds racist.
It does. It really does.
If you want to make it that, of course. Yeah, but that.
Why can't it just be a monkey?
I mean, it's an albino monkey. It's I don't know. But
Yeah.
it's a.
Usually we like this third segment.
But this is
I
a.
know.
But it's an albino monkey, which y'all was saying is racist, but it's a white ale.
Okay. Why can't it just be a polar bear or a polar monkey?
What was wrong
Do
with
they
the
get
golden ale
polar
you were
monkeys?
drinking?
No, they don't have it. You are drunk. What the fuck is a polar monkey?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
Keep drinking, my man. Enjoy yourself.
No, they don't have polar monkeys.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure I haven't seen. I've watched a lot of National Geographic and shit like that. I haven't seen a polar monkey yet.
They had a white one in the Planet of the Apes. Remember? They did have a white one.
Well, first of all, it was an ape, not a monkey. You call an ape a monkey and see what happens to you.
Never mind.
Keep going.
Yeah,
Keep going.
There's the primates.
That was gonna be ugly.
They're primates.
Yeah, very, very good. This is
And that's the one where they wrote donkey on his back.
That caused problems too.
Well, the donkeys were the ones that was working for the humans against the apes. They called them donkeys.
The ass.
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes. We need to go on that one day. That shit was. I mean, it's good. But it's racist as fuck.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, back to this white ale.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a golden, a little, like a fruity finish.
Gotcha.
It's pretty good though. I recommend it. I've always liked the albino monkey. I hate the name though.
What's the ABV?
It's only 5. I was taking it light tonight.
Mm.
Yeah, I usually only drink 7 and above. The first one I had was only 5.4. This is 5, so I'm coasting.
Gotcha.
Why?
Cause I got a tea time in the morning.
They never stopped you before.
I've never played at 7:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Now I've gone to work after a night like that. I used to do that shit all the time. I don't know how, but I used to do it.
Gotcha.
And play football, flag football. But yeah. So.
Those days are over.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What you got?
I have it's from Bill's Brewery, and they are in Bedford, Virginia. This is a gold Hales Lager. Is that? It's actually pretty good. It's only 4.8%, and yeah, I like it.
So what you said it's a lager?
Yeah, it says Hales Lager.
Looks
See
like
that
a
on the bottom?
looks like a small bottle of hydrogen peroxide.
Thanks, Cliff.
Call it like I see it.
So
Hello?
let me cut out. Hold on. Oh, there we are.
Had a little technical difficulties again.
Oh, so what you're saying is you don't like the packaging.
No, I don't.
I mean, it does look like cough syrup.
It looked like the old, what's that stuff they used to give you back in the day when you like had a scrape or something? It wasn't hydrogen peroxide, but it
No.
came in a little bottle like that.
Iodine?
I had the shit they used to burn like
That
hell.
shit burn like a
Yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking about something. I used to get your fit.
Damn,
Yeah.
me too.
Moms came out with that.
Damn right.
I'm like, no, get the peroxide. That shit
Yeah.
don't burn.
Yeah.
That iodine. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why would you use iodine when you had peroxide?
Because they didn't know any better. They were still, that was what they had growing up.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That stuff's terrible.
Man, it's the worst.
So I'm drinking the Licking Hole Creek Deck of Cards IPA.
Licked a few holes in my tongue. But go ahead.
Some very nice, some not so much.
I mean, listen, it's a roll of the dice sometimes when you're licking holes. You never know what you're gonna get until you get down there.
Can we get to the second? But go ahead, Cliff, go ahead.
I mean, you gotta explore. But yeah, it's right here in Gooseland,
It's a good town.
and
We're all drinking local.
7.5 ABV.
Okay. Yeah, support local wherever you are.
Yeah. And if any breweries out there or local brewer want to send us beer and we'll drink it on air, we're always here for that.
We'll shout you out.
Even if you're not local.
Yeah, if you just want to send it to us.
I'll say your name every time on this podcast. You just want to give me some beer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You help me, I help you.
Yeah. We are definitely not opposed to you to drinking beer that somebody sends us.
Hmm?
So.
Now for me, it's craft beer. But if y'all want to partake in the dirty piss water,
If somebody sent you beer for free, you'd at least drink it.
no, I'm not drinking it. The only time I drink stuff like that is if I go to your house and you say you want a beer and that's all you have.
Gotcha. So free beer is out.
I just won't drink anything.
Yeah, we know that shit ain't gonna happen.
Now, if you liquor me up first, I'll drink anything you got.
Right.
You know, when I'm hammered, I will drink anything.
Gotcha.
But I'm just not gonna go to the bar and buy something.
No, I'm not saying bad, but if somebody
I'm not.
sends it to us,
I'm still not. I'll take it and I'll stock it up or give it to y'all or
I'll drink it.
feed your dog with it.
I'll drink it.
Yeah.
Feed the dog.
Two people will drink it. I will not.
You'll be hearing from Peter.
You can't feed your dog beer.
I did once. Chaos. Oh, I got him hammered on 211.
That's the funniest shit
It's the
ever.
funniest shit ever. And he lived to 17 years old, which was so it was
Old for a dog.
it was the beer. I mean, it was the malt liquor. I stand by it.
I don't think that was it, but I digress.
There's no proof it wasn't.
Sorry, it's Peter. You'll hear from me.
Yeah. So Georgia's been in the news.
Yes, it has. Georgia.
Voting rights and all that stuff, and they're trying to make it harder for a certain sect to vote because they tend to vote Democrat, so that's what they're trying to do and limit that voting. So I'm not gonna get into all that. That's another.
He said, I will. But go ahead.
But the All-Star and the draft it's the All-Star game and the draft. I think they were going to have.
Maybe in Georgia.
Yeah, where they're going to have in Georgia in the MLB All-Star Game and draft, and they decided to pull out.
Yeah.
Which is sort of like what the NBA did in Charlotte, except for a different reason, which
Yeah.
I did not agree with the NBA version because I agree with what North Carolina was doing, but that's a whole different story.
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's gonna hit Georgia hard, hit the government hard because they do get revenue from it.
Yeah.
Um, the one thing I wanted to point out was that it's also might hit the businesses hard there who probably might have been struggling during COVID. They could have used that shit.
Yeah.
So it's it's a double-edged sword, but
Yeah.
it probably needed to be done. I don't know.
Yeah. You shouldn't make it harder to vote. If anything,
No.
you should make it easier to vote.
You should.
I mean,
But you have an agenda,
uh,
or unless you something you're trying to accomplish.
as they say,
Well, it's
as,
all political.
well, as if you watch Star Wars, that's what the Sith said. The only thing Sith are afraid of were losing their powers.
There you go.
So that's what's, and it looks as though they're starting to lose power. So you change the rules.
You're trying to do everything, which it's actually been done on both sides from all through the years.
Yeah.
It's just what you do. It's a political war.
Yeah.
You do whatever you can to within the laws, which is what you make. You make the laws, so you try to grasp at straws.
MLB basically pulled out. They're talking about Coke is talking about not closing, but not using some of their plants down there. And Coke's headquarters are in Georgia, so
Yeah, and I see that's where I get a little iffy because yes, that's money for the government, which because it's the federal government and Georgia's government. I don't want
I think it's just Georgia.
just Georgia's government. So I understand, yes, that hurts them, but doesn't it also hurt people with jobs down there?
Yeah, I mean that's unfortunately
Collateral damage.
damage. Yeah,
At the same time, you might be hurting. I don't know. It's fucked up.
it is. It is because and then the finger pointing starts. It goes to, well, you shouldn't have pulled out. You left all these people without jobs, and MLB is saying you shouldn't have made a fucked up law.
Well, we not gonna put MLB up on a pedestal. They pretty much had no choice because they were gonna have players and managers that weren't gonna
Right.
participate.
Yeah, nah,
so
yeah.
Oh,
I'm not-
that's what was happening too.
Yeah,
yeah,
a lot of them were pulling out.
yeah. So because
Oh, the players and the teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was in Georgia.
right. So had they gone along with it, MLB would have had to answer questions. Okay, what the players and coaches aren't here, why are you still here? So
Yeah.
I mean that was a PR move.
I mean, even the NFL and the Atlanta Falcons put out a very long statement that didn't say shit.
It's because it's not football season.
Exactly. They put out a statement that basically said we don't agree with the laws. Please support our Falcons.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, really, because I mean,
So
the that's crazy because NFL, any team could lose money and still be making more than they did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The NFL is not,
yeah, no,
Major League Baseball, they could be hurt.
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's
it's wild. And I mean, the law is fucked up. Now, I agree with MLB pulling out. Now, like Cliff said, I don't think they had a choice, so I'm not making them out to be, the most righteous organization in the world. But I agree with them pulling out because at some point you have to take a stand against stuff you don't agree with, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's you know, if you don't agree with it, you got to take a stand at some point.
So they wanted to be on the right side of the cancel culture.
Yeah, but
It's a business first. They don't want to lose money.
exactly. And that's what I mean. As a man, you have to stand for something at some point. And the choice ain't always gonna be easy.
There's always a choice. You just might not like them.
Yeah,
But
that's
there's always a choice.
Always.
Exactly. Exactly.
Cliff, get your motherfucking beer out of there. Stop making noise.
That jump must have been deep in the ice. I bet you it's cold though.
That bass out of your voice sweets up.
I bet you it's cold though. Georgia.
So, GOP.
Go ahead.
If you stop trying to make it harder for people to vote. If you want people's votes, do a better fucking job.
Right. Exactly.
Make people want to vote for you.
Yeah. Don't make it harder for them to vote for somebody else. Just make them want to vote for you.
You really you showing that you have nothing.
Right.
That's what you're showing.
So you're really asking politicians to get right?
Well,
Yeah.
You expect that?
No, I don't expect
No.
it.
Oh, okay.
but you know.
But
it's-
when did it become? When did it become okay to make it illegal to give somebody a fucking bottle of water?
When the
I mean, just think about that.
when the Europeans came here and stole the land from the Indians and discovered a land that somebody was already living on.
Discover?
Discovered.
I'm just saying.
Was there a did they put forth a reasoning behind that part of the law they were trying did like because I like to hear
Me too. I don't think there wasn't a reasoning. It just said.
I understand laws. You want to make laws for anything. There's laws for everything, but I like to hear because half the laws we have, I don't know the reasoning for
Me
them.
either.
You know, so was there a reasoning for it? Did they have?
I don't know.
Nobody say anything.
I hadn't heard no reason for it. It was just like, in the law they made it. They said you can't give aid to people standing in line to vote.
Aid. That's a broad
So
term.
like food or water or helping them out
Yeah,
or anything like
past a
that.
certain point, but it's like if you can stack it up on like a table or something and let them just go for themselves.
I guess I don't know
Or something like that.
But when did giving help or water or food to somebody that's thirsty or hungry become a problem? I mean that's a bigger issue. Just when did that become a problem?
When it was a bunch of black people in line.
They're reaching down deep.
Yeah.
Reaching down deep.
So yeah, I applaud MLB, and again, I'm not making them out to be saints, but I applaud them for taking a stand. I do.
They were on the right side.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I wanted to just to get the whole because it's not a big part of this one, but the whole voter ID shit out the way.
Mhm.
If you're paying taxes in a state, should you just automatically have an ID? Like, why do you have to pay for an ID? Like,
I don't know.
that's bad on all the states. Like, you shouldn't have you get a social security card.
Yeah, you should get an
Like,
idea.
just
And
why not just get one?
I don't know. And like I think we discussed this off air. The voter ID stuff, it's always been a law that you needed your ID. Now, whether or not the people working in the polls take your
They
ID,
didn't
that's
have-
a whole nother issue.
They didn't take mine last time.
But it's always been a law.
So if it's always been a thing, what are they talking about?
Your former president made false accusations or false claims about voter fraud. That's where all this is coming from.
No, I've heard it before then too, though.
As far as
Actually, having the voter ID laws and all that sort of thing. It was before Trump got in there that I've heard about this thing.
you needed that. However, this came to the forefront
Right.
because
He
of the
made it
claims
a
he
major
made.
issue.
Yeah,
Okay.
those claims he made.
And it, well,
So you cannot vote without an ID.
no. In America, you have to have an ID. Now, whether the poll workers take it,
Which they did not.
that's a whole nother issue. But it's always been a law.
So,
which is not an issue for us as
no,
blacks
but that
because we always have ID anyway.
but that is one if what you say whether or not they take it, that should be a point of emphasis too.
Right, but
No,
that's not the
I'm
laws that
just
they're making and stuff. I
but
know,
yeah,
yeah.
but that's what if that's how because I did not get ID'd when I voted this time. Like that's I find that kind of sketchy, and that if you want to clamp down on shit, clamp down on that motherfucking shit. And that's a state thing.
Right. I get you, and I agree. But if you look at the demographic in that precinct or whatever it is, that voting district, whatever it is,
Right.
if it's predominant, let's say it's predominantly blue, and they look at you, I mean, it shouldn't do it, but they can kind of tell.
But they should not be assuming
They
because
shouldn't be. They
it's
shouldn't
not
be.
it's not 100% of black people that vote Democrat.
Mm-mm.
It's like
That's-
85%. So that means one out of 15 out of every 100
Yeah,
could
but
be so no, but they should be checking that sort of thing.
no, they should. I
it should
agree.
be- it should-
I
it
agree.
should be.
But you could be that one that they assume is going to vote a
But,
certain way.
yes,
They don't
but-
check your ID, and you vote the other way.
Well, then maybe we need more. I mean, look, if we're gonna
You just shouldn't assume.
yes,
No, you shouldn't. I agree with that.
no, but
You know what
to
I'm saying?
if we want to, because there's always going to be voter fraud talk, but if we want to take one aspect out of it,
Right.
then that should be clamped down on. That's the easiest thing to clamp down on.
Yeah,
But they,
but that-
they don't
that-
want to take that out.
I was
'cause
about
that,
to say
yeah, that provides a loophole.
that provides a loophole for them. It ain't that ain't.
And
what
that's
they
why I
want.
don't. That's why I don't like none of these motherfuckers. Because it's a lot of talk,
Mhm.
but not a lot of action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just when I and I saw bits and pieces of the Georgia law. I'm not gonna sit here and say I read the whole bill. I saw bits and pieces, and I'm like, "Are you serious? They made a law for this?
That nigga law, man.
It's just it's a lot of rhetoric and making it so you can't vote on Sundays.
I forget the number. It was like I think like 300 or some laws like across the country
Yeah.
that they had tried to push. Because
They tried. That was
I forget the
first one to
exact
pass.
number, but yeah.
It's just
That was the first one to pass.
a state term blue that's been historically red,
Yeah.
and they're pulling out all stops.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's all it is.
Exactly. And it's crazy. It is. It really is. To think that
That's rigging elections in broad daylight.
Well, they've been. I mean, they always rigged elections in broad daylight. We just don't know
It's
how.
just-
We don't know how to spot it.
It's out in the open right now, and for a certain side. I'm not saying that the other side never did it because they probably did
they
too.
have.
This one is
They're
just
better at hiding it.
yeah. This one they didn't care. It's just out in the open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said it's funny because when the governor signed the law, he signed it in front of a picture of a plantation that was on the wall that hangs in the governor's
Subliminal.
office.
That's why wouldn't he?
So the state legislator is mostly Democrat, but the governor is Republican.
I think
For now,
Well,
because
is
he
it
about to lose that shit.
well, is it mostly Democrat though? Their state legislator? I think it's actually mostly
It was-
Republican,
It's
like
just
by
the
a slight margin.
But the constituents are more.
Yeah.
But the state legislature.
Because the way apparently the way their state districts go, it's the Atlanta suburbs are like one or two. They have like one or two representatives, and then you get what I'm getting at.
Well,
But
Georgia.
that, from what I understand, that governor, who is, I believe, is Republican,
Yeah, he is.
about to lose his gig to the was it Stacey Abrams?
Well,
But
she
she.
damn near beat him the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, for governor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She damn near beat him the first time. And she's only growing.
Yeah,
She's growing.
exactly. And it's like I think he knows that his time is running short,
Yeah.
which brought on a lot of this shit.
Georgia's changing. I mean, still a lot of undercover brothers down there, but So that's why I will not be moving down there. Oh, the property's cheap.
Yeah,
I just, you can't trust all your friends down there. You
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck they want from you.
it's better than moving to Texas. Although Texas has no property tax.
Hey, I'm not scared of Texas. Not scared of Texas. I like the no property tax, no state, it's no state
income
tax.
tax, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought that was in Florida.
might be there too.
Florida too,
But
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's why if I was in the NBA, sign me up in San Antonio, Dallas. If I'm not gonna win a championship, then I want to go to a team where I'm gonna keep most of my money.
So you don't want to go to like the Clippers.
Who the fuck wants to go to the Clippers?
Yeah, who does?
Kawhi Leonard.
He's a retard.
Will you stop saying
Where's the lie?
And as a Clippers fan, I agree with him.
that? Stop saying that. It's him and Paul George.
Paul George sells for us. He sells.
And Patrick Beverly.
He
Hold on.
doesn't even.
Playoff P.
Yeah.
I think Patrick Beverly got traded, didn't he?
No, well,
No, he's still there.
He's still there.
He
He's
just
hurt
doesn't.
now.
He just was hurt.
He's hurt now,
With
yeah.
that nappy ass fro. He looks like
Uh-oh.
Anthony Hamilton. The point of it all. Yo, that's every time.
From where I'm from.
Yo, that's
I'm from.
Patrick Beverly is moonlighting as an R&B singer named
Oh.
Anthony Hamilton.
Sometimes you gotta walk to work. Yeah.
You see it. That's why it's.
I'm offended by my co-host singing.
Oh, okay.
I'm offended.
Yeah, well,
Just, you know,
yeah.
Oh, man.
He likes to sing.
Yeah, I do.
He does.
Yeah.
So he likes to sing.
that doesn't make it good.
No, I'm good.
Doesn't it?
Not good at all.
Doesn't know.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So we're going off the rails here.
Yeah.
So
That's usually what we do.
Yeah.
But did you?
Usually,
Does he look like Anthony Hamilton?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. It's that shoddy ass beard he got.
Got
It's like patchy. Yeah. I don't know how Anthony Hamilton gets all these women with that beard, but so right now I'm trying to.
Because he can sing.
It's the music.
Do it again. So if I could sing,
Yeah.
I'd have herpes right now.
Okay, we'll be back.
Oh.
We're not talking about Usher.
Okay.
No.
We'll be
Oh, yeah,
back.
shit.
So, yeah, let's wrap that.
All right. So we'll be back
Hmm.
with another segment.
Hopefully.
Yeah. You imagine, though, if I could sing, I'd be dipping my shit
Yeah, herpes.
into a bunch of stuff.
What up, dude?
Oh, there he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Spotify, YouTube, and iTunes proudly presents the podcast champions of the world, Big Cliff, JK, Art Dog, the Brews and Views podcast. And if you're not down with that, we got
words.
2 words for you.
Fuck you.
Oh God.
No,
That's not the 2
Right.
words.
wasn't the
we're
words.
looking for. That's not the 2 words we're looking for.
Those are the words.
Those wasn't the words.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, alright.
I changed my mind.
They were sucking if you were wondering. But
Yeah,
it's okay.
that was what
Oh.
that's what the word was supposed to be.
Bang bang. So it is WrestleMania weekend. Before we get into that, Justin had switched his beer.
Yeah. It's a green bottle. Oh. It's a Sam Adams, it's a lawn chair lager. It's apparently seasonal. It says refreshing and bright.
Lawn chair. That's what you sit on in the springtime.
Yeah.
Relax.
It's only 4.5%.
Easy
Let me-
drinker.
Let me take a swig.
Probably got excellent flavor.
It does. It's really smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Something you could drink all day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you could. You could. I could. Yeah.
What does
It's got the
Elvis
nice
say?
name for it, lawn chair lover, because I could sit out on a lawn chair and kick back 6 or 12 of these.
It's a good all day drinker. See, which I need to find because a lot of times I try to drink the same shit I drink all day, and then I pass out at 2 afternoon, and gone.
But that means you wake up in enough time to start drinking
Well,
again.
yes, I do.
Yeah.
But I do miss the nice day. At least 4 or 5 hours of it.
Right.
You gotta sacrifice
Yeah,
something.
this is true. I mean, my body was tired and needed to go to sleep. But oh well. But it is WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania 37?
37.
I don't keep up with the numbers.
37.
37.
Yeah. They're doing it. Is it the first time for the two-nighter
Nope, they did it last year.
they did last year?
Mhm.
So it's a thing now, they're going to do it every year.
Oh. 2 nights of wrestling packed action.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Well, it was because it was COVID. You could only have a certain amount of people in.
Yeah.
Oh, so
that's
they're
everything
trying-
booked.
they're trying to maximize the dollar
So
that
they
they can
had-
get
right.
from it. Yeah. What?
Right.
Yeah. Follow the money. So I just want to talk about wrestling for a little bit, especially at least from when we started watching it to where it is now, and what I can remember is from I say mid '80s. Well, before that, just a brief thing. It was a regional thing. There was all these different wrestling promotions. You had just different pockets of America,
Different territories.
different territories.
Yep.
The wrestlers used to go to one, and then the contract run out. They they travel all around. And then Vince McMahon, who was in charge of the WWF at the time,
Mhm.
Northeast production.
Vince McMahon. So let me get this right. It was Vince McMahon Senior.
Yeah.
Who started the
And the
WWF?
WWF.
The
WWF.
Worldwide Wrestling
Yeah.
Federation.
But in like '85, I think McMahon wasn't the owner of it, but he was still running. He was running it at that time, right? And that was a Northeast production. And then he got it on USA, which at the time was a lot of Hanna-Barbera shit. 'Cause I remember that,
Yeah.
watching all that shit.
Cartoon
Shirt
Express.
tails.
Cartoon Express, Space Ghost,
Yeah.
and then wrestling was on there.
Captain K.
Yeah, and all that shit was on there. And so he got it on, into the, I guess, mainstream light. And then at that time, this guy Terry, what's Terry? What's Hogan? I don't know what the fuck it is, but this racist motherfucker.
Terry Bollea.
Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
His name is Terry Bollea.
But he, as far as because you when you have a sport or a product, you need something to be the front, the
Yeah,
face
the
of it.
face of it.
And Hulk Hogan just happened to be that guy who put it into the mainstream. I mean, shit. At that time, he got on Rocky 3.
Yeah.
He fucked up Rocky
Rocky.
in a charity event in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, he was Thunder Lips.
Yeah, but he at that before then you had your wrestlers here and there, and some good personalities. I've seen old tapes, but Hogan could really galvanize the crowd.
Yes,
Yes, he could.
And he started this thing Hulkamania, which shit, didn't really go away. It was just
Speaking of Hulk Hogan, he is the host of WrestleMania.
is he this
He's
year?
Yep, he's the host with Titus O'Neil.
Interesting. So Hulk Hogan put the shit on the map in '85, around '85, '86.
Give or take.
Yeah, and then shortly after that, they started the WrestleManias. I remember vividly WrestleMania 1. It was him and Mr. T versus
Piper and somebody. Right?
Piper and
I don't
God.
remember the other guy.
God. But yeah, that's how you get people into it for your first WrestleMania. Mr. T, who was at the time was just that dude,
Yeah.
he was a pretty the fool. But and so it goes on, and then you had your wrestlers here and there. You had Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior, who Hulk Hogan did put over after a while. He put them over, and they had their little run. And then all of a sudden, Ted Turner buys this little production in the Southeast called WCW. Well, actually, it was NWA, National
National Wrestling Alliance.
National Wrestling Alliance. And then Ted Turner, who calls it wrestling,
Wrestling.
he wanted to be a big player, because WWF is picking up steam, and so Ted Turner, who was a big multi-millionaire, he might have been a billionaire. I don't know. Did they have billionaires at that time?
I
No.
don't know.
I don't know. But you know,
Actually, for a wrestling store, technically Vince McMahon bought WCW at
No.
first. Technically, no. Because
chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out. I know what you're saying, but it doesn't matter.
it's something little wrestling history.
I know.
Don't wanna
Okay.
wrestle people.
Okay. But they made them a player in it because he opened his checkbook.
Right.
Because you know this is Ted Turner, TNT, TBS, CNN, you know, Atlanta Braves.
Mhm.
You know, he had dough. So he opened his checkbook, and that allowed people from WWF to come down to where they changed it to WCW
Right.
because they didn't renew their contracts. And so you didn't have this big battle in the mid to late '90s. WCW versus WWF in the Monday Night Wars. And I mean,
It was great.
it was freaking awesome.
And it was the best period of wrestling.
And
It was.
what made it, in my personal opinion, what made WCW win it for so many weeks, because one, they took all the talent from the big talent, the big
Right.
name talent. But two, WWF, they didn't change with the times at the time. They kept these gimmicky characters
Right.
and stuff like that. Whereas, you know, and then WCW had this whole NWO takeover and all that shit, and it was just great television.
Yes, it was.
And then
That's when I got back into wrestling.
yeah,
It was like 97.
that's
when I
when
got back
that's
into
when
it, yeah.
that's what I had left for a second.
Me too. I had, because 80s I was in there, like I think I told y'all, I was, when Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant.
WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, I was hooked, and I watched it for years, and then I kind of got out of it, and then I came back in the mid to late, mid '90s.
Well,
It's crazy
Right around then.
because I got out of it during high school.
Right.
Like my high school years, I wasn't watching it, but as soon as I got to college, I was
Yeah.
right back into it.
Yeah.
there was a lull there. That you said that time you got out, it was a little,
Mhm.
and that
It
was
was.
for both. I mean,
Mhm.
and mind you, I did used to watch before the WCW, NWA back in the day. You know, they had good wrestlers then. You had the Ric Flair, who was, I mean, in my opinion, he's on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
The Nature Boy.
Woo! He showed you how to be flamboyant and talkative as far as
How
you
to
know,
put on up
how
on the
to,
show.
he put on a
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
You know, limousine driving, private plane flying, you know,
That's
that
right.
type of thing.
That's
Ric
right.
Flair is the godfather of how to build yourself up,
Yeah.
you know. But that whole war shit was going on. It was good, and then all of a sudden, WWF said, you know what, we're losing. What we gonna do? And lo and behold, Stone Cold Steve Austin comes along, and
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Mind you, first of all,
And Stone Cold had been around before.
he was stunning Steve Austin.
Stunning
In the
Steve
NWA,
Austin,
he
yeah.
was stunning Steve Austin. When he got to the WWF,
He had
he
long
was
hair.
the ringmaster,
That's right.
hanging around with Ted DiBiase. I remember that motherfucker,
That's
boy.
right.
And he was doing Ted DiBiase's moves.
Yeah.
That's how cool it was. But before Stone Cold and all that shit happened, I do want to say about Shawn Michaels, who did help put this shit on the map. Is you could see back then when we used to watch him. Because remember, me and Cliff used to be out in the front yard. We used to love LOD.
Right.
Oh, man.
Lynch and the
You
Dude.
do, yeah.
And in NWA, they were the Road Warriors.
Yep.
But we used to make believe that we were, yeah, that shit was, these motherfuckers wore spiked
Spiked
shoulder
pads.
pads,
They got
no
no harder
face
than
paint and
that,
all
man.
that shit.
Yeah.
But the Rockers were always like there.
Yeah.
But we could even see back then. I know I saw. I don't know about you, but I saw that Mark Jannetty was garbage.
I'll be honest, I didn't at the time,
You
but
didn't?
I was just so focused on, like, I mean, we were young.
Yeah.
So I won't look at shit like we do now.
Yeah.
And I didn't see he was garbage. I didn't know any better.
Me didn't know any better.
I quickly found out once they split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which is I think it's I don't know. I've stopped watching. I didn't watch a lot, but I know one of the greatest heel turns, and heel turns is when for you people listen, it's when a good guy goes bad
Bad,
in
yeah.
so many words. Is Shawn Michaels gave Marty Jannetty a kick to the face in the Brews Barbercake's beef shop, knocked him through the window.
Yep.
That was the first time I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
That was like a Saturday morning I was watching this. I was like, oh my god! But
Yeah.
this dude, Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold, before The Rock and all the others that got there, these two guys just uplifted them to beat out the star, because they were stars, but they weren't guys. This is Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Sting. All these people are in WCW.
Yeah.
I mean, Sting is dropping out the rafters with face paint, looking like the Crow with baseball bats, beating people up. That shit was dope.
It was.
It was great.
And the NWO takeover.
And it was no beating that unless you had a personality like Clifford's drinking the Broken Skulls, and this I'm a sexy like.
I'm not your boy.
Man,
boy.
listen, Shawn Michaels is that dude.
Yeah.
So they won it back, and they brought it back to when people like The Rock came and took it over for a short period of time.
And when he came through, it was
No, The
nothing
Rock.
like The Rock.
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Yeah.
And finally, The Rock has come back. That type of shit, man. That's the Attitude Era. It was great, and that's basically where I stopped at.
Yeah, me too.
When that shit moved into the ruthless aggression era with John Cena, I kind of checked out.
Yeah.
So
On
I don't know.
outside of maybe Ric Flair,
Hmm.
has there been a better like shit talker other than The Rock?
Shit talker? No.
No.
The Rock shit talks better than him, and Ric Flair shit talk better
That's what
than
I said.
anybody.
The Rock, but he can control a crowd, man. I ain't seen
He's a-
nobody
he's-
control a crowd
people
like The
champion.
Rock. Yeah, man.
People champion.
Well, so is Stone Cold not controlling the crowd? Or what's he doing? He just
The crowd got behind Stone Cold.
yeah.
Because
But-
everybody could relate. Everybody at some point, who's ever worked a job, has always wanted to whoop your boss's ass. So you could get behind that.
Yeah. But
But
The Rock,
the Rock could actually control the crowd, get them to chant anything.
that's why he'll be president one day.
I mean, he just might.
So just think if you could walk into your boss's office, flick him the double bird,
Mm-hmm.
kick him in the stomach, stun him, and then somebody throw you a beer and you can sit
And you
there.
drink it at work.
I think that's that whole dynamic between Stone Cold and McMahon is the greatest shit WWE has ever done.
Yeah, because I mean,
Clearly,
just think
like
about it.
you said, Hogan put it on the map.
Yeah.
Austin McMahon took it to where it is now.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I mean, just think about it. If you could walk in your boss's office Monday morning, give him the double bird, kick him in the stomach, and then somebody throw you a beer.
Yeah. Or you just walk into work and you drink your beer and you dare someone to say something to you. You're like, yeah.
And that shit when he gets them on the ground and he be in their face like,
Yeah.
that's the best shit ever. Stone Cold is, he's not the greatest wrestler ever.
No.
Because,
No, not at all.
and The Rock's not the greatest wrestler ever. Actually, I believe the greatest wrestler, well, first of all, the greatest wrestler ever is Bret Michaels because he's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Bret Hart.
Yeah,
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Bret the Hitman Hart, best wrestler ever. But Shawn Michaels is the close second.
He's up there.
He's just that dude, and
I
he
seen-
might have the
seen
best antics ever.
Yeah. I seen The Rock do the people's elbow in church shoes. 'Cause that was one of the best jumps I ever seen.
Yeah, it was.
When he slid across the ring in some church shoes.
The boy's an entertainer, man.
Yeah.
That's why he is where he is now.
This man had on church shoes and slid across the ring and slid right into the people's elbow. It was the greatest, man. I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried it once or twice. It didn't work.
Can't do that. Well,
You're not the Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
And my mama tore my ass up for putting on church shoes and sliding across the kitchen floor. But that's a whole nother issue.
Well, if you can talk about yourself in the third person and not be whacked,
Right.
you got something going on.
Yeah.
That's what The Rock is. But after John Cena took it from The Rock John Cena had it for Cliff.
Keep talking.
This is where I stopped. After John Cena took it for a long, he was that man for a while. Who was
Right.
after that?
Wrestling has evolved so much. I think you can't really pick a best wrestler right now because there's a lot of talent that are really good wrestlers nowadays.
Yeah, there's no one who kind of took it from Cena.
Yeah.
No one's hit like that level. Like whether you like Cena or not,
Yeah, 'cause I don't.
you recognize like his value.
Yeah.
Like motherfucker was good at what he did.
Oh.
Whether you like this character or not, you
They
had to
use
respect
him.
what he did.
Well, you know, actually, some of the best people that I've seen, I don't really like them. Like Cena's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Kurt Angle.
And he's one of the best.
Yeah.
He's one of
I just hate his neck. That's an unnatural neck.
He broke his neck.
Yeah, I understand, but it's unnatural.
That's swelling.
It
Swelling.
looks like an oak tree. It's unnatural. I just hate the way he looks. But he's dope. He's dope.
Yes.
Kurt Angle's that dude.
Yes,
Like
he
actually,
was.
one of the best matches I saw was that Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
That
yeah.
shit was.
Yep.
I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
Yeah.
That shit was great.
Mm-hmm.
And that's after not even watching for it. I just came back. I just happened to go through because it's on. Thank you for Peacock
Yeah.
putting wrestling on there because I can watch it for free.
Well, now they're getting rid of the attitude there on Peacock, though.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're scrubbing most of the shit.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, they
Well,
might.
good thing I watched it all.
Because it doesn't hold. I mean, it doesn't hold up in cancel culture.
Fuck cancel culture.
I
Cancel
feel the
your
same
ass.
way. I feel the same way.
Yeah,
But I like the attitude era. My favorite era.
Yeah,
of
it's
wrestling.
great.
Yeah, yeah. Because that was the era when a lot of us who had got out of wrestling got back into it during the
Yeah.
Attitude Era.
If you're not down with that, then I got two
Two
words
words
for you.
for
Come
you.
on, that shit is great. I mean, how great is it for these motherfuckers to get into a Jeep from the Hampton Coliseum
Man.
and ride that bitch
No,
to
no, no.
Norfolk?
Yeah.
A tank.
They keep calling it. It's not. That wasn't really a tank. It was like a Jeep slash tank. It wasn't a full tank.
It was a jank.
It just,
Yeah. For those that don't know, WCW, that wrestling post was in Norfolk
Yeah.
that night, and WWE was in Hampton.
that shit is crazy.
Which is.
So
not
anybody
too
from
far.
Virginia knows.
Yeah.
Like,
Man.
ooh, I wish if they'd opened that door. Like, it'd probably been a real fight.
Yeah. I'd like to see it, though.
That'd have been great.
There'd have been
Shoot.
too many cops involved.
It was.
Yeah.
But that's DX might be the best
Faction.
faction group ever. No?
Who you got? Four Horsemen?
Horsemen and the NWO.
Well, NWO.
Yeah.
Well, WWE. Even though they own, but as far as WWE, because Four Horsemen and NWO, technically the best. Well, Four Horsemen wasn't even in WWE,
No.
but
DX was up there. DX was, then they're up there if you're gonna do that.
Degeneration.
And then we're gonna put the Nation up there just
The
because
Nation's great.
that's what produced The Rock.
Rock,
We are the
Mark
nation.
Henry,
A domination.
yeah, I get it. Yeah. No, you shaking your head.
Nah, he was shaking his head at me.
Oh,
What's your favorite faction, Jay?
DX, obviously. What? Because factions are very frowned upon nowadays. So.
are they?
Yes.
Mm.
Vince hates tag teams, so he hates factions too as well.
So you know the good one though, Evolution.
Evolution, yes, Evolution, I like them.
So it was Triple H, Ric Flair,
I think I asked you this.
Batista, and Randy
I think
Orton.
I asked you this.
Gotcha.
Did Batista powerbomb harder than anybody?
He's in the running.
That shit.
He's in the running for
It
it.
looked like it hurt. Like I wouldn't let him do that to me.
No.
I'll put it in perspective for you. He powerbombed John Cena and broke his neck.
Like literally?
He jumped off the top rope, powerbombed him, and he broke his neck.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That RKO looks a little dangerous in many ways. I've seen it done. Like he be jumping, catching people in, and
Yeah.
that shit look dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, if the shit was real like that, yeah, that would lay you down.
If wrestling was real, nobody would beat Brock Lesnar.
No.
Good point.
And the matches wouldn't last 15, 20 minutes. They wouldn't last that long.
It could be no wrestling because WrestleMania matches go long.
Yeah,
You know, there'd be no.
Because you gotta tell a story while they're wrestling.
It's,
You know,
it's artistic,
it is.
but nobody would beat Brock Lesnar. That thing was unreal.
No,
Yeah.
According to Vince McMahon, Bobby Lashley would.
no,
No.
no.
According to Vince.
I've seen this Bobby Lashley guy. Brock Lesnar will fuck him up.
Yeah,
Oh, and shout out to the Undertaker and Triple H. We left out two of the greatest to ever do it, longevity wise and
Yeah.
actually character wise. I think so. First of all, Undertaker, scariest thing I've ever seen because I saw him as a kid when he came out. That shit was terrifying.
If it wasn't for Undertaker, it wouldn't be guys like The Fiend.
It would not.
when he set up in that casket, and
Man,
I
that
was
shit's
like
crazy.
8 years old, scared shit out.
But death scared the shit out of you when you were young.
That's
so,
true.
So,
That's
and,
true.
And he
And then
was, that was his thing.
And he set up out the casket,
Yeah.
scared me.
It's different than when Hulk Hogan does the adrenaline shit,
Yeah.
where you think you got. Yeah, it's different than that. Where this dude just sits up.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a wrap after that. But shout out to him and actually Triple H, who was always a good wrestler. He had a bad gimmick at first, but
Hunter Hearst.
he put more people over than anybody that I've seen.
Well, he was great. I mean, he really was great. I mean, it didn't hurt that he married the boss's daughter.
She's
but,
hot too.
But he was great.
Also,
I'm not saying that's what got him
but-
where he is.
No, but when he put on that, when he changed his persona to the game,
Yeah.
that entrance is one of the best entrances I have. Although
Play the game.
he's spitting on water on people, but
Yeah.
that shit, he looks so mean and hard when he does that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
his best one.
I'd be mad.
Although
if
I
was
loved
in
him with
there in the
DX
front
and all that shit, but that game entrance and his shit's all taped up and it's just coming out, man. I think there's no better entrance than that.
also shout out to Triple H for NXT because he's doing
Yes.
great. NXT is phenomenal.
Who I just watched? I just watched an NXT match the other night. It was the end. It was a Spanish girl and an Asian girl. Yeah,
Raquel Gonzalez versus Io
That's
Shirai.
Spanish.
Like, you wasn't watching it for no wrestling.
No, I was. And
He started watching.
I started watching wrestling. But that Spanish girl, she was big. That was a big girl.
She was the powerhouse of the match. That was the whole
Yeah,
point.
that little Asian was getting it, but she lost.
Yeah,
She was the women's champion, and her reign was kind of getting.
I just want him to throw him around the room for a minute.
I'm hoping for a boob to pop out at some point.
They would just block out.
You won't get that anymore.
I know.
Now, during the Attitude Era?
Yeah, you
Might
Yeah.
have believe.
Oh, ain't no Mike. You
Remember
did.
China, when she was
Yeah.
tired. She was tired. I remember when she was tired. DX always mooning and showing their ass, so China pulled out her
So you did.
nice little tight butt.
I can't tell you how many times Stephanie popped out of her
Yeah.
wardrobe.
Yeah. Fully, yo. It's a fully, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't.
Half baked?
Oh my God.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. God.
Good job, John.
Shout out to Jim Brewer.
Oh, man.
So, who? First of all, I'm getting back into wrestling, so I got to pick me a wrestler. And being that I like this thing right here, even though he doesn't,
Yes.
he doesn't look like a wrestler, I'm going with Daniel Bryan. How old is he? Is he gonna be around for a while?
No,
He's
no,
thinking
he looks
about
a little-
retiring.
he's on his way out.
He looks
Yeah.
bad.
He's on his way out.
He looks bad, so I got to pick somebody.
No,
else.
he's still good.
He's still good.
No, but I'm saying
You said he looked
he
bad.
looks like some. When I saw him years ago, like he doesn't look the same. Like something's off with him.
I don't know, but in terms of ability,
Oh, yeah.
he's one of the best.
Okay, I love Daniel.
I don't know.
So maybe I'll pick somebody. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll.
get
Yeah.
you another one.
But I'm gonna watch it. It's on Peacock, so I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Two nights.
2 nights.
2 nights
Two nights.
event.
Saturday and Sunday.
2 night event.
I don't watch anything on Saturday. Sunday nights is gonna be tough because I gotta watch not Game of Thrones, Walking Dead.
You can DVR that. You watch
I
WrestleMania.
can DVR wrestling.
Wrestle.
Or wrestling on Peacock. I can always watch it.
Watch WrestleMania, yeah.
But yeah.
So who's the big guy now? who is that guy? Like, who is the Shawn Michaels, the Triple H, the Undertaker?
Oh, you won't know. There are none.
There's
None.
none of
None.
those?
It's none of
None.
They're sharing the
They're
love.
trying to push Roman
Roman.
Reigns
Yep.
Roman
to be that guy who has everything he needs to be that
He's got
guy.
the look.
He's just not that guy right now. I mean, he's great, but he's not.
I
That.
love his heel work, but he's not.
He's got the look. Roman Reigns got
Yeah.
that look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Also,
You understand, like those guys you talking about, like Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, those guys were special.
Yeah.
Bret Hart, that was special.
The best there is, the best there was. The
You
best
know,
there
it's
ever
like
will be.
that's your thing. Now, like AJ Styles,
I've seen him. That dude's got it.
he's got it.
I just don't like his I heard him talking.
he got that
You
something
know, like his voice.
Yeah.
Like
I get
you
it.
gotta have something. Like you
Right.
gotta. I don't know.
I get it. But in terms of in the ring,
Yeah.
you're not gonna find too many better than him.
I'll tell you who does got charisma that's, it's not on the level Shawn Michaels is not good at, but Keith Lee, he's probably one of the,
Keith Lee.
one of the
He
most.
sounds like a drummer for
Nope.
a band.
You
His
about to get
gift-
fucked up. It's a black dude.
What?
Black dude.
Keith
You're
Lee.
gonna be
I make it-
What?
Keith Lee does sound like a black
It's a
man,
black
though.
dude.
Yeah, and
It also sounds like a country
And
white
he's not a small
he's
guy
from,
either.
he's 300 pounds doing cruiserweight
Yeah,
stuff.
not a small guy.
And he's doing cruiserweight stuff.
dude.
Like,
It sounds like a country.
Are you about
Yeah.
to start saying hunting, fishing?
Yeah.
living
no,
every
like
day?
his catchphrase is basket my
No,
glory.
like he's
Keith
big
Lee-
dude that can move. Like okay, if I could do the shit that Brock Lesnar does, that's Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
if he can do the stuff that Rey Mysterio can do.
Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can root for a guy named Keith Lee.
Sound
though.
like he getting ready to go mudding.
Noodling.
Until you see him.
Until you see him. He's brilliant.
you see him.
He's good
Yeah.
on the mic. He's good in the ring.
So, because that's one thing I do.
And shout out to Keith Lee. He just recently got engaged. And,
yeah, he did. To me and him.
Shout out to Keith Lee, man.
What's
He's all right.
if he's got the in ring persona, I like, because shit, half the shit we dudes we growing up, they couldn't like somebody like Hulk Hogan wasn't a great wrestler.
No, not at all. Nah,
Kevin
was Stone
Nash,
Cold, to
Stone
be honest.
Cold.
I mean, for real, yeah.
They're not great wrestlers, but they had the
They had the character,
The character.
they had the charisma, they had everything else. And like you said, when you talk about like a Shawn Michaels, a Kurt Angle,
You knocked the thing on the toilet.
people like that, it's like wow, man, it's like best of the best. That's like trying to compare today's NBA to Jordan. Like you can't do that, man. There's no comparison.
yeah.
But I tell you what, they weren't always the best wrestlers, and they were great characters. But I think nowadays it's more wrestling than it is about character work. It's more about
Yeah.
if you're a good wrestler. Like it's the same thing in the women's division. You have to be a good wrestler. It doesn't necessarily have to translate. to
It's
women's.
not like the writing. The writing is fucking terrible now.
Yeah.
The storylines are because that was one of the
Yep.
things that got me.
Bang bang.
But now they expect the wrestlers to tell the story,
Yep.
tell more of the story through the
Who's
wrestling,
the wrestling?
Yeah.
and they put more of the pressure on them. And
Mm.
They come up with their own storyline.
yeah,
pretty
they
much.
do it, and man, they're excellent at what they do, but it doesn't always come across.
But I think the biggest issue is Vince is out of touch.
Oh, he's old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
The old man.
He's
Vince
Like
does,
wrestling
he
has
doesn't know what
evolved
the
so much.
crowd wants anymore.
like Jerry Jones.
That is like the perfect analogy right there, man.
He's just
Perfect.
that,
Yeah.
He's
Jerry
Exactly.
Jones.
Yeah.
Of course,
God
Mike,
damn,
of course.
that's perfect.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah.
Some people is for me he's an underrated heel, and I know he's my favorite. Edge, he's an underrated heel out of a lot of heels in the business, for real.
And that's a triple threat. Is that Sunday night? That's the big match.
Yep.
Probably.
It is.
I gotta disagree with you on that one a little
Edge
bit.
got
'cause I
Gray
don't,
going on. I'm looking
I
at
don't
this
think
dude. I'm like,
Edge
this
is,
dude
I don't
is
think
old
Edge
as
is
shit.
underrated. I think he's right where he should be because he is good. He
He is a good heel.
actually he is great, but
he
he's
was-
not. I mean,
He's
Damn,
46.
it took him 20
He was
years.
part of the Brews.
9 years.
It took him 20 years to
you
get
know what I'm
over
saying? He was good. No, he was out for a minute. He had a
Next year.
major injury,
Yeah.
like
Triple fusion.
like he was forced to retire
They
type
say
injury.
The shit is fake, but it ain't fake.
Yeah, no, it ain't fake.
Yeah.
Scripted, not fake.
Remember that.
But he had a real injury, like neck injury, like he was forced to retire. Now, obviously, medicine has improved, and he was able to come back.
I I also want to say shout out to Undertaker and Mick Foley for being big guys and to giving all their body. Like Mick Foley did some shit that
Yeah, I would never.
that dude's crazy.
He was doing pile drivers and doing thumbtacks and stuff like that.
Jumping off cages.
According to Ric Flair, he was a glorified stuntman,
Shit, okay.
but he worked a hell out of them
Man,
stunts.
Mick
man.
Foley was
Yeah.
he was actually one I forget I left him out when they brought the WWE back from he was one of the guys giving his body up.
Right.
He's that dude too. I mean, his gimmicks crazy. I mean, I remember Cactus Jack in NWA, but this Mick Foley guy and Mankind throwing himself off cages and doing it for a guy that size is unheard of. And then
I just get thrown off the cage. I don't give a damn what size you
yeah,
are.
Yeah.
that shit's
That
crazy.
shit's up there.
That's true.
And then Undertaker, the Taker, who everybody respects.
Yeah.
It's like the dude.
Now he's just the old man that teaches the NXT guys now.
Yeah, with his two hip replacements.
Yeah.
Can't count how many surgeries that man had. But
He competed in
he
everything.
entertained us for a long
He
time.
competed in everything. Hardcore matches.
He's my favorite.
He's up there for me too, man.
Taker and Shawn Michaels are my favorite. Who?
The Rock and Shawn
Those
Michaels
those
are my
good.
favorites.
Yeah. Rock's great. Rock's bad. Rock's great.
Edge and Daniel Bryan are my favorite.
Maybe if Goldberg hadn't have fucked up Bret Hart,
We would have Bret Hart.
because Bret Hart was there too.
I mean, he's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
I mean,
If it wasn't for Bret Hart, we wouldn't have technical wrestling matches either.
God.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep watching it or start watching it again, but I know I'm gonna be disappointed because I'm not gonna see.
Yeah, if you expecting Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle and Triple H, man, yeah, you will be disappointed because that's
My
not
advice-
what it is now.
My advice: just enjoy the wrestling. Don't try to focus on the storyline. Just enjoy the good wrestling.
Yeah,
Just enjoy it.
But I like stories.
he's right on.
Yeah.
Me too.
We like good
Me
stories.
too. But
But-
Stories.
he's right with that one. Just watch the show and just be honest with your assessment.
Well, I
Yeah.
need to see. Is they're gonna be crowded WrestleMania?
Yep.
Yeah, there'll be a crowd at WrestleMania.
Because I can't watch it without that. I've tried. I've
The
tuned into
Thunderdome?
Raw and SmackDown. I'm looking at a joint, and there's
It doesn't work.
I hated the Thunderdome. I was in it. I tell this story. I was in it like 3 times, and they tell you who to cheer for and who to boo. It's not like
What do you mean, like the screen, like the NBA
Yeah.
Finals?
Yep.
yeah.
You put your thing. Okay.
They show like a
Yeah, kind of like when you go on like late night talk shows and they have the applause sign.
yeah. That's what they're doing. They do that. They're like, boo this guy or cheer this guy, and I'm like, I don't want
Applaud
to.
now.
I don't want to.
Applaud now.
Yeah, I don't like that. Bitch, I'll tell you when I'm applauding.
Yeah. I
Motherfucker-
clap when I want to.
Motherfucker, I paid the money. I tell you what the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me when to laugh. Huh.
Yep.
But
We're
yeah.
gonna do WrestleMania moments.
Hmm. Yeah, so WrestleMania tomorrow and Sunday. Check it out. I'm gonna check it out, but I'll probably cut it out and watch some old shit in the middle of it. But I'll give it a shot, and I'll try to find me a wrestler who I can go for it. But I'm thinking it's gonna be Daniel Bryan.
Who is not gonna win tomorrow
I don't care.
or Sunday.
Probably not, but he is great.
He is great.
I mean,
I like him too.
I like his basic uniform.
Said I like his basic.
Like just brown drawers and brown boots.
Just drawers and boots.
Yeah.
keep it simple.
He pale as shit too. He don't look like it, but you know, I like him.
Yep.
And he's the only dude that don't look like a wrestler that's married to Brie Bella.
So yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for this week. And finally, Brews and Views will be back after this in 2 weeks. I don't know what we're talking about, but we'll be drunk. Hopefully making you laugh, hoping making you think. I don't know. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Give you something to laugh at. Hell, laugh at us.
Right.
Oh, next. So next time will be at least the last segment will be. It's the is it the week before the
NFL
draft?
Yeah.
So we'll talk some NFL. We've been holding off because, I mean, they keep talking about it all the time. There's no need to talk about it until it fucking happens. So we'll give you that preview, NFL
Yep.
draft preview, and all that shit. So we'll find something. But yeah.
Yep.
See you in a couple weeks. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.